So in prepared learning, behaviors that are learned easily and by all or nearly all of the individuals, if you think about being fearful of snakes, that helps monkeys to be able to survive. Humans learn to speak very easily. The acquisition of language in humans is something that we are prepared to do. Babies start babbling, and then once they start, they never stop, as you will see from that one in there. So acquiring language in humans is very easy. So why is it so much easier for an infant to learn a complex language than for a college student to learn biology? It may be due to some evolutionary basis for the acquisition of certain behaviors. So everybody is exposed to language, some kind of language, but not everybody is exposed to college-level biology. So organisms don't learn everything with equal ease. Monkeys do not learn to fear flowers or a toy rabbit. They learn to fear snakes because snakes are the thing that can kill them. They're not afraid of flowers. They're not afraid of toys. They are afraid of the thing that's going to hurt them. So if you think about the ease of which a baby becomes scared of snakes versus a person getting fearful of guns, guns don't necessarily kill you the first time you touch them. And some people may become very used to handling guns. But with snakes, it's a much bigger learning curve because to get used to snakes takes a different kind of learning. So some complex appearing behaviors don't require complex thought in order to evolve. So learning to be afraid of snakes is not a really complex thing. Learning to be afraid of guns, there are varying levels in between. So if you think about why organisms do certain behaviors, why do animals have sex, why do people have sex, they're not constantly thinking in the back of their mind, I must maximize my reproductive success. Sex has evolved to be something that feels good. And so people have sex because it feels good. Animals have sex because it feels good. It just so happens that that also passes along genes to offspring. So it makes it so that it's a behavior that organisms want to do. Just like food. People have to eat. Animals have to eat. They're not thinking like, I must save up enough energy for a rainy day. They're thinking, I feel better when I have eaten than when I have not eaten. That's why to some people, eating feels really good, almost to the point of addiction. And it's all about being able to survive long enough to pass along your genes to your offspring. So animals are not consciously trying to maximize their reproductive success. You know, humans can say, we are going to have sex in order to try and have a baby, but animals are not consciously trying to maximize their reproductive success, but they behave as if they do. And how does this happen? Like the retrieving of the egg in geese. So this is a naturally occurring fixed action pattern where if the egg rolls out of the nest, the goose retrieves it in exactly the same way each time. So by living by these simple rules, the animal can exhibit a complex appearing behavior. We think, oh, what I would think if I saw my egg roll out of the nest. So just by them performing something naturally, it appears as if they're having a complex thought. But really, what they're doing is they are trying to make sure that they end up having babies that hatch. And so geese will retrieve any object that even remotely resembles its eggs. It'll pick the largest egg first, because if you think about which is going to be the egg that's the most likely to survive, it's going to be the largest of them. So an egg will pick whatever looks like the largest egg first, even if it's not a goose egg. And so by tricking an animal, which is essentially what these scientists have done, they set up a situation that would never occur in nature. We can reveal that this is a simple behavioral rule. Always grab whatever fell out of the nest and pull it back into the nest. And so this is a new study, something that's come up within probably the last 30 years, looking at evolutionary psychology. And Darwin predicted this back when he came up with his theory of natural selection, where he said, in the distant future, I see open fields for far more important researches. Psychology will be based on a new foundation. So if you think about 30 years ago, if we saw somebody drinking too much, we would say they knew what they were doing, they were drinking because they have a drinking problem. Now we know with evolutionary psychology that there are a lot of things that are addictive behaviors that people may not have as much control over as they thought that they had at one time. So if you think about things like gambling, think about things like overeating. Overeating is a huge one. Think about things like sexual addiction. These may be based on evolutionary psychology. So here's a great example of one. This is called kin selection. This, forget exactly what it's called. It's not a groundhog. It's I don't know. It's in your. I think they put the name. Oh no, I don't remember exactly what it was called, but basically.